Happy Tuesday out there, Team 42. It's your skipper here, Darius Dell, to present our macro minute for Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. As always, we'll start with the executive summary from today's leadoff morning note. If you would like to review the analysis supporting these conclusions, as well as what specific changes you need to make in your portfolio, you need to be a client of 42 Macro. So today's key macro events are NVIDIA recovers, Airbus disappoints, and crypto is disconfirming the consensus liquidity cycle upturn narrative. In terms of market implications, NVIDIA's recovery from its quarterly rebalancing-driven correction is supportive of our view that stock market leadership is likely to continue narrowing into defensive sectors and factors over the medium term. Airbus's negative guidance is supportive of our view that U.S. and by extension global growth is likely to slow over the medium term. The corrections across the crypto asset class are symptomatic of the stalled uptrend in global liquidity. Our deep dive empirical study on the drivers of the global liquidity cycle agrees with our friend Raul Paul's everything code in that the lagged global debt growth best explains the liquidity cycle on a multi-year time horizon. That single factor model suggests a massive surge in global liquidity in the months and quarters ahead, but we are skeptical of that outcome because our Bayesian analysis of the medium-term drivers of global liquidity suggests leading indicators are generally unsupportive. Transitioning to our 42 macro dashboard here. As always, we'll wrap up with the question from our community. This one is with respect to Bitcoin's prop and price. So it says, hi, Darius. With the recent drop in the Bitcoin price, I wonder if your model is still bullish for this asset. A small fraction of the Mt. Gox coins have been dumped into the market. How should we manage this situation knowing that there are still a lot of Mt. Gox coins waiting to be dumped? So obviously the Mt. Gox situation is negative for the asset. I don't think you need me to you don't need a global macro expert to tell you that. But the one thing I'll say, and this is something we stress when we're coaching and educating investors, is that there's a lot of focus on Twitter and free podcasts, et cetera, on very idiosyncratic segments of the market like Mt. Gox or CTA positioning or dealer gamma positioning, all these like very idiosyncratic factors, not realizing that just one collection of investors or one community of investors, or whether they be systematic or discretionary and fundamental, that one community of investors is not the entire market. So as much as we can know about Mt. Gox or CTA positioning or dealer gamma positioning, these are only small forces, not small in some cases, but these are only independent forces in the market, and the market is everything. And so this is why we monitor asset markets not through the lens of these sort of bottom-up idiosyncratic drivers of supply and demand. We monitor markets from the top-down perspective, through the lens of our volatility-adjusted momentum signal. And for an asset like Bitcoin, for instance, our volatility-adjusted momentum signal explains 98% of the return and the performance in Bitcoin in terms of the conditions across our VAM signal. And so, when we think about, where the VAM signal is for Bitcoin today, it is suggestive that something might be changing when I look underneath the hood of how the moving parts within the VAMS calculation are moving. But if you obviously, the clients will have what the actual condition of the VAM signal is, and ultimately what it means from an asset allocation and portfolio construction standpoint in terms of the amount of the exposure an investor should have to the crypto asset class at the current juncture. So we're obviously very explicit about that in our KISS portfolio construction process. Our discretionary risk management overlay, aka Dr. Mo, is also very explicit about the proper trades, recommendations for Bitcoin, Ethereum, et cetera. So just be aware of that. Keep your eyes glued to that if you're a client. And if you're not a client, God bless you. Good luck. We'll wrap it up there. Darius Dell presenting our macro minute for Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. Everyone have a wonderful day out there. Best of luck, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow. Cheers.